All right, guys. Well, I want to welcome everybody to Momentum Builder. This is More Momentum, and I have brought on a guest that is a true friend of mine. I mean, bro, I love you. This is Kyle
I love you
Draper.
too.
Kyle Draper is yeah, I would say he is a master at social media. A man that has gone from zero followers, zero connections to building a business. And he started in roofing, which is so cool to me, and migrated to the mortgage industry. And I think that his goal in life is to really help people connect with other people. And on a real level, we talk about personal brand all the time. Personal brand is important, absolutely. But what about that connection? What about that real feeling? And Kyle is, gosh, I mean, bro, you're a national speaker. You're big time. I mean, you really are. And I know
You
you
said
don't
it,
feel that way, and
not
you're not
me.
going to admit it, and you're going to be
Yeah.
humble as all hell. But I'm just saying, Kyle has changed a lot of people's lives by what he has said. I've personally seen people that have seen him one time that have completely changed their entire game. And
Wow.
honestly, and truly, man, I haven't, I never even shared that with you. Actually, there's a couple people that when you came to Milwaukee, actually,
Come
um,
on. Yeah.
yeah, no, I'm serious. When you came
It's
to
awesome.
Milwaukee, you did a presentation, and this one girl there, beautiful girl, good real estate agent, all the right things, but she wasn't present on social. And now what she's doing is she's connecting with people on a deep level. Out of all the, people that I follow on social, I watch her story. I watch it. And why? Because I feel connected. So I want to dig deep into look, we got to make money. We got to make money.
Yep.
If we don't make money, this is all worthless. It really is. It is a waste of time. And a lot of people argue social media is a waste of time. You're not gonna win. So, and by the way, she crushes it. She crushes it, the person that I'm mentioning.
Yeah.
Um Absolutely crushes it. Bro, she got an award for being the top social media person in Milwaukee
I love it.
from zero, and it was after one seminar with you, and I mean it, and I'm not messing around. I'm not like anyway. So okay, Kyle, we got to make money. Social media can't be a waste of time. We have to make money. How are we going
Yeah.
to do it?
Well, Jimmy, I think first we have to be willing to have a different perspective of what social media is. And so my challenge to all of us today is for the next 45 minutes, however long we got, that you have a willingness to recognize that you've been looking at social media wrong for however long you've been in this industry. Because, Jimmy, all of us, we didn't give a crap about social media before somebody told us we could make money there for our business, right? None of us cared
Yeah.
about it. We maybe had Facebook and it was to keep up with nieces and nephews and like know what my college buddies were up to. But other than that, nobody cared about it. And so we instantly perverted it the moment that a mortgage company told a loan officer, hey, you see all those social media things over there? You can make money there. And so what we've collectively done now is we use it as a billboard. We show up there talking about mortgage, talking about rates, talking about loan products, talking about closings. And then we're frustrated because it doesn't work. Well, no, duh, it doesn't work because nobody showed up on social media to hear about your rates, to hear about your closings, and to hear about your loan products. And so we have to recognize that the greatest opportunity we have on social media is not to go get new leads, but to go be more top of mind to all the people we already know so that we can get more repeat clients, so that we can get better referral partners. That has to be the shift in mindset. And
Absolutely.
and and so the what I want these loan officers to understand, and then I'll shut up and you take me wherever you want to take me, bro.
Please go.
Guys, Every single one of you. Actually, let's put it in the comments. Let's be engaged today.
Please, we have
In the
21,
comments,
23 people on here. Please, like, this is like this. You're gonna get almost
a
a
lot,
one-on-one session here.
right?
So
Put in the
I promise you
comments
it's worth it.
how many real estate referral partners do you need to take your business to the next level? How many? Put it in the comments. Troy said 0.
Troy said
That's
0.
great. If you don't depend on realtors at all, good on you, bro. That's awesome. But I want to see. Hopefully, some other people will actually say numbers. And as we're waiting for them to come in, when I'm speaking in front of people, what I say, James says 3. I hear 3, 6, 12, right? Of the right people. And so, Jimmy, it's fascinating. James can say 3, right? Ron, 5. 5 of the right realtor partners would change your business. Hey, tell me again why you're trying to go viral on social media. Tell me again about why you're worried about not having enough followers, about not getting enough views. Why are you embarrassed when you get 300 views on a post? When you just said you need 5 of the right people in your city paying attention to you,
Mm.
building trust, building rapport. And so social media will never work when what we say we need and what we're trying to get aren't the same thing. And
Bro,
that's what we're going to talk about.
bro, I love this. I knew this was going to be a great session. So, bro, I'm very passionate about this, as you know.
Yeah.
I personally went all in on social. I started a podcast and I interviewed every single real estate agent in my market. Interviewed them all.
Yep.
I had Realtor Month. I literally did a podcast every day, their whole life story for a month, 30 days. It didn't matter about the views. It didn't matter about the plays. It didn't matter about the reviews. It didn't matter if my podcast was good or bad. It honestly didn't matter. Here's what mattered. It mattered that I created a relationship where I gave a fuck about these real estate agents. I actually had a relationship.
Yeah.
God, that's so powerful. And guess what? I got referrals. I
Right.
got referrals. How does that happen? What do you know? Oh, Jimmy cheated. He's got a podcast. Oh, Jimmy, he's on social. He has X amount of followers. He cheated. It's such bullshit. No, it's not
100%.
that. I made friends. I made
That's
friends.
it.
I made friends, and I actually did. You know what you said? You said it exactly like this. It's about who are you attracting, and are they right for you? You're gonna detract. Look, I'm a little bit grandiose. I mean, my God, if you've never seen me here before, I'm sure you already know that. But I will detract quite a lot of people. A lot of people aren't gonna deal with me. A lot of people, but there is a very certain type of person that is going to be very attracted to me,
Yeah.
and it's the same for everybody. You might be a little nerdy. You might not want to get on a stage. You might not want to get behind a camera. You might be, afraid of a lot of the different things that, for instance, I have a couple scoops of talent in. I'm terrible in a lot of things, believe me. But I don't want someone that isn't going to love me and that I'm not going to love back. I don't just want business. I want friends. I want to do this with people that I love, know, like, and trust, care about. Call them. How are your kids? How are things happening? What's going on with your divorce? What's going on with your this? What's going on with your that? And actually care. And I think that that's something that is super important in my video freezed.
Yeah, 100%. While you're working on unfreezing your video, think about this. We talked to a loan officer that feels like a loser because they've got 1,000 connections across all social media. And so in their mind, because of the world standards, like, man, you're a loser. That's not very many people. Don't you know more people than that? But I've yet to meet the LO that when I ask them, how many loans do you want to do this year? And they say 40, 80, 150, 300. I've yet to meet the LO that doesn't know more people than they want to close loans. And so even if an LO wants to do 100 loans a year and they already know 1,000 people, why are we concerned with needing new people? Why are we concerned with needing to grow to X number of followers when the reality is if you would simply show up on a regular basis in front of those people, your business will grow. And like you just said, if you're doing it authentically, so I'm a big fan when I'm coaching, like if you love the F word, I better see the F word in your videos on social media. And if you're willing to say the F word in person, but you're not willing to say it on video, well, then now I'm going to challenge you that why do you say it at all?
100%. Yep.
Be who you are.
Yes.
That's the name of the game on social media. Everybody that knows me,
Yes.
they know that I love Jesus. I was a pastor for 10 years
And he
before
doesn't
I
use the
got
F
into
word.
this.
And he
I do
doesn't
not
use the
use
F word.
that stuff.
I probably shouldn't have said that. I should have audited myself a
Dude,
little
no,
bit.
no, 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 no. I don't care. I would be offended if you were any less than yourself
All
around
right.
me,
Yeah. I
right?
get. You're right. No, you're right.
But I
If we were having
do,
a private
Jimmy.
conversation, we would talk like this. Exactly like
I
this.
do cuss in with letters, right? Like I this is ridiculous. But I would say, what the F, bro? I would say that,
I know you do. You do. You're
but I
right.
won't say the whole word because I'm freaking weird and I was a pastor for too long and I just can't it won't come out of my mouth.
It
But
not a
the
bad
whole
trait.
thing is like I had a guy one time, Jimmy. He hired me to speak. And before the date of the engagement got here, he called me and he said, "Hey, I have a really hard question to ask you." And I'm thinking, what in the world could be so hard? And he said, "Could you talk a little bit less about God when you're up here?"
I already know what you're gonna say,
And
but
and
please.
all I had to say to him, I said, "Man," and he's now one of my best friends. I said, "Bro, I don't plan to talk about him, and so I also can't plan not to because what we love should naturally come out. Like I love sports. I talk about sports. I'll mention a sports reference. I'll do a video about sports. Like we've got to be willing to be ourselves and to what you said earlier, even if it's at the cost of rubbing people the wrong way.
Oh,
Because I'd rather you know that I'm not for you now than 3 months from now when I've tried to court you, when I've tried to get your business, and then we're like, oh, yeah, this isn't going to work. So be yourself and watch the attraction that takes place.
okay, so we're going to go into how we do that, but I just want to just
Okay.
reiterate. I think that a lot of us struggle with FOMO and fear of loss. So that will bleed into,
Yeah.
are we going to be real and authentic
Yep.
and push some people away and offend some people? I think that it is so, again, I just want to, I want to triple down on this. You will attract the right people to you if you are authentically you, exactly you, who you are, and you convey it even on camera.
Yep.
And even if you might be this political party, that political party, you might be whatever it is. I'd suggest not to get into politics because you'll make people hate you that actually probably you'd like.
I disagree.
You really do?
I
You
do.
really do?
And here's why.
Tell me. All right. All right.
Well, it just goes in alignment with what we're saying. I would rather have 50% of people love me at the expense of 50% hating me versus riding the fence my entire life and nobody really hating me, but nobody really loves me either.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
so, again, I'm not political. I don't really get into those conversations. And so, like, I'm not like I unfriend people that are political on social media because I just don't have time in my head space for it. But if you're truly passionate about politics, there's enough people that are also passionate about it that'll fricking fuel the crap out of your mortgage business.
Wow. You're right.
And so, like I think you're right in where you were going with it. But I just think the moment we declare be authentic, but we're not telling
Yeah,
people to be authentic.
you're 100% right. And you know what? It's because if I'm authentic to me, I'm pretty moderate. I can go a lot of different ways on things. So if I'm being authentic to me and I'm giving my opinion, I'd say stay out of it. However,
Sure.
if you're hardcore right or hardcore left, you're right. You'll
And
get the hardcore left and you'll get the hardcore right.
and
If
all those
you're,
people are lunatics.
I
But
know,
there's 300 lunatics in their city
but
that
there's
are
a
like, you
lot.
know why I use so and so for my
Yeah.
mortgage because he flies that flag behind his truck.
But
It
okay, I
doesn't
know
matter.
I know we're in the weeds here on this, I'm taking a step back and thinking about this. If you were a hardcore X side, okay,
Sure.
there are plenty of hardcore X sides out
That's
there.
it.
And who do you want to work with? Do you want to work with somebody that's hardcore the other side? You don't. You don't. Those aren't going to be your friends. It's not going to work. You're not going
Nope.
to actually care about them. The phone's going to ring and you're be like, ugh, I don't want to do this. So, okay. I want to talk about how now, Kyle.
Okay. Okay.
So look, I think we've pretty clearly established that you need to have real authentic connection. Real
Go.
authentic connection. And if it's fake, it's not going to last. So, Kyle, how do we do it?
So my absolute favorite way to execute this idea is using our DMs. So for example, I have a new book coming out Monday. Rethink Everything, The Power of Video for Business and Sales. This is in the book that's coming out Monday. And it is very simple, Jimmy.
What's the color of the book? You've had purple, you've had green. What's the next
This
one?
is an electric blue.
Okay.
It looks freaking good.
All right.
It looks
People
good.
call it by the color of the book because
That's right.
you've had
But we
three.
actually have 3 blue books coming out this summer.
Okay.
So it's going to be hard to reference the blue book
Oh, you're
because there will
busy,
be
man.
3 of
You
them.
are busy.
But
You are busy.
but guys, here it is. And this sounds. I just recorded a video for the book this morning about how silly what I'm about to tell you sounds. Send birthday videos to people. Oh, wow. Most brilliant idea I've ever heard. No, guys, it's not brilliant. But here's the deal. The people in our industry that crush it, they do nothing brilliantly other than the boring things. That's it.
Yeah.
And here's what I don't Jimmy, I don't even know if I ever told you this. In 2019, I spoke at NAR's national conference for the first time, National Association of Realtors. A guy was sitting on the front row. He was from Quincy, Illinois. I didn't know this at the time. He was sitting on the front row. There were 450 people in my breakout. I was teaching about video. I taught this birthday concept. He connected with me. He ended up telling me that he was in the middle of his worst year ever in like 14 years of real estate, and he was considering quitting. And he went back home and started doing birthday videos. And in that 12 months, he got $3.2 million worth of business
No way.
directly from his birthday videos. And I said, Jeremy, you got to be kidding me. Like, have you ever given somebody advice and then when they tell you they took it, you're like, you did? Like you're shocked that somebody listened to you.
I
And then
know.
when they tell you it worked, you're like, oh my gosh. I wasn't sure if it would work, but it worked. And so Jimmy, I said, Jeremy, hold up, dude. How do you know that you got $3.2 million in deals from birthday videos? He said, Kyle, I tracked it. I would send them a video, happy birthday, blah, 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 whatever. And then their response would be, I've been meaning to reach out. We want to know what our home's worth. We're thinking about buying a vacation property. We're thinking about selling 14 transactions directly from birthday videos. He started doing video every day. He's been on the news multiple times. He's the #1 broker in Quincy, Illinois now, 5 years, 6 years later. And it all tracks back to his willingness to look like a moron,
Yes.
holding a camera in front of your face and telling people happy birthday. Why? Why does this work? It works because all of your people already know what you do. But as it sits right now, you're annoying the hell out of them
Yeah.
because all you know how to talk about is freaking mortgage.
Ugh.
You and I had a prep call earlier today. As soon as you finished telling me business things, what did I ask you?
You know what you said? And and by the way, you consistently do this. And it's
Yes.
something that I want to adopt in my own life. Here's what you said. How can I serve you? You said, how can I serve you?
That's it.
Is there anything I can do for you?
And I also
That
said, what's going on in your life right now?
and by the way, I want you to know that everybody on this call, if you have a real connection and talk with somebody and you ask them, how can I serve you? Oh, how how are you deepening your connection? Are they going to go with somebody else for a mortgage? Are they going to
Dude,
send their loans to somebody else? How can I
here,
serve you? So powerful and
okay.
what's going on in your life? You care. You
Can
know
I
what I
go?
mean?
Can I go on a tangent for a sec?
Go deep.
And
Let's
I'm
go.
gonna I took my hat off for a second because I want you guys to know that crazy hair and all, this might change your life. You don't need someone's business to earn their referral. And this took me years to understand that well Jimmy can't send me a referral because I've never worked with Jimmy. Guys, some of my greatest referral sources are simply the people that trust me the most. And some of my most trusted referral sources, they don't live in Dallas Fort Worth where I live. We don't spend time in real life together. We just see each other online and we talk in the comments of each other's posts and they refer me opportunity after opportunity. Why? Because I keep showing up. And this, to me, this is the secret sauce of social media. Never in the history of the world have I been able to, with one tap of a keyboard, broadcast myself to tons of people. Tons of people like that. And it doesn't cost me anything. Yeah, but like only 50 people saw my last. That's 50 freaking people. That's 50 people. You want three of the right realtor partners. There's not three realtors in those 50 people that are slowly watching you from the shadows and they're in their mind they're thinking, man, is James going to keep showing up or is he going to only show up once? And so I'm going to watch and I'm going to pay attention because Jimmy, here's what people say to me all the time. I've been watching you for years.
Mm-hmm.
Can we talk about a virtual assistant? Can we talk about you speaking at my event? Can we talk
Mm-hmm.
about a Rethink Everything book? We never know when somebody's going to show up, which means we can't afford not to.
It's crazy, man. I just want to say one thing too. You know who is the most consistent happy birthdayer to me?
Who?
Barry Habib.
I love it.
Do you know that guy? Have you ever heard that guy's name?
I've
Anyway,
heard of him
all,
once or
all I'm
twice.
saying all I'm saying is that every single year before I knew him, interviewed him, shook his hand, met him in person, took a picture with him. Anyway, I thought I'd reiterate that. So
Holy
okay.
cow! If Barry can do it, so can we.
And you know what? And you know what? How many I mean, he's maxed out on friends, I'm sure, He does it. He does it, you know? And here I am. And look,
Wow.
we're doing we're doing an integration with list reports in Shape. And, I was able to text him and talk to him about it. Anyway, my point is that like, how does this all happen? It happens by being consistent. It happens by being an actual, real, authentic reach out. And it takes effort and it takes time. So, okay. Happy birthdays. Give
Yep.
me another how.
Another how. So this is gonna. This is for the people that are on here or watch the replay that for whatever reason you're scared to death of getting in front of the camera. Spend 30 days, and whether it's with a spouse, a significant other, a cousin, a friend, a business associate, whoever. Pick a friend that you communicate to through text message every day and tell them for 30 days, I'm going to respond to every one of your texts with a video. And here's what happens. I did this over 10 years ago with my wife. In 30 days, I sent my wife over 130 videos. But Jimmy, here's what's interesting. Never once did I go, oh, I feel fat. Because I was sending these to my wife. She sees me naked. She's the least of my concern for what I look like. I had no concern for what I sound like. She sees me and talks to me every single day, right? But what happened, and when I did this, I didn't know what I was doing. But the outcome was, did I just get way better at video? Did I just get way more body positive about myself? Did I just get way more confident in my ability to do this because of the reps I was willing to take?
Bro, Lana must have hated you.
Dude, well, she did know, like she was like, "Do I have to do it?" And I was like, "No. You just go about your day. You don't even technically have to watch them. I don't care. But I need these reps."
Yeah.
And think about, Jimmy, think about how noble, guys, we do this so backwards. Think about how noble it sounds if you were coaching a group of LOs and you told them they need to do video, and every one of them said, "Jimmy, I agree to do a video every week for the whole year." You would leave that meeting going, "Dude, I'm a freaking good coach. I just got every one of those loan officers to promise me they would do a video every week." That sounds noble, but what in your life works because you do it once a week? Fit people don't go to the gym once a week. When you were bragging about your six pack all over the place, you weren't going to F45 once a week,
No, I wasn't. I was going 5 to 7 days a week.
right? Like couples that have great relationships, they don't go on a date night like once a year. It's got to be consistent. And
Yeah.
so doing a video a week sounds noble, but it never establishes a rhythm.
Right.
And so if you're doing a few birthday videos every morning and you're sending a few video text messages out every morning, all of a sudden you're doing 6 to 10 videos a day that feels like a very level, like low lift, but you're preparing yourself for being able to show up for people day in and day out. And it's unbelievable what happens when people begin to remember us for the right reasons.
100%. And I tell this to people that are considering shape. Hey, if you're half in, don't buy it. Don't
Yeah.
subscribe. Because here's the deal. It's just like a gym membership. I literally compare it to a gym membership. You can buy a gym membership. You can pay the money, but if you don't go and use it, you're not going to lose weight.
Yeah. That's
You're
why
not
I'm still
going to
fat.
gain muscle.
I bought gym memberships for 20 something years.
But that's the thing though.
You know?
And the beauty of social is that it's free. You already have the phone. You already have a camera phone. You can
That's
literally
right.
do it. You just have to put in the effort. But if you don't, it won't work. It works if you work it.
Can I
Okay.
give another how?
I want it. I was just going to ask.
So at the end of the day, you said at the beginning, if we're not making money, what are we doing?
Right.
Right?
Yes. Thank
Can
you for bringing it back to that.
can we have a good heart? Like, do I do this for more than money? 100%. Do I love knowing that I'm making an impact in people's lives, whether it's spiritually, emotionally? Do I love hearing the story of the girl in Wisconsin that whether it ever helped her sell more houses or not, it helped her realize her own worth, and she's putting her story out there. Yay! Like I do love that part. But at the end of the day, my kids got to eat. And my wife doesn't care as much about that story because we got bills to pay, right? And so we do have to keep in mind the business piece to this. And here's the easy way to do it. I'm going to give 2 questions for you guys to write down. That's what I thought. I thought you were talking about Ellie.
Yeah.
2 questions, guys. The first question is this: what do I get asked the most about mortgage? And if you want to swap words, what do I get asked the most about finance? Right? Pick different words inside of our industry and start making a list. What are all the questions that I've ever been asked about my industry, about the process. If you can't get to 100, go ask ChatGPT to give you 100 questions that people ask about mortgage, and it will help you. So, what do I get asked the most about mortgage? The second question, Jimmy, is what am I surprised that people don't already know?
Yeah, there's a lot.
And so, perfect example. How many times as an LO were you asked, what's earnest money? I know I should know, but like, how does that work? Did anybody ever ask you that?
Every time.
Every time.
Actually, I don't wait till people ask the question. I just tell
Yeah,
them.
you're already answering it
Right,
out of
right.
anticipation. And
Exactly.
so, guys, we've got to begin to train our brains to think. If one person's asking it, someone else is thinking it. And so I'm going to start creating educational videos. Some are 30 seconds, some are 60 seconds. Some might be 5-part series because you need to dig a little bit deeper. But you now are going to become known as an expert of mortgage, an expert of money, an expert of finance. Why? Not because you went and got a master's degree, but because the internet allows us to become known for what we talk about the most. And
Okay,
so,
so go
yeah,
ahead.
go ahead.
Well, okay. All right. So I would say what you just said is beginner level. This is 101. I
Dude,
think
I
a
think
lot
it's 5012 too.
well, here, I guess here's my point. Um, there's a lot of people on this call that already know social is important and have already created videos. And some of them have done it consistently.
Okay.
I want you to take me to the next level. So, look, Kyle, I did the educationals. I did the earnest money. I did how, 203K works, FHA works,
Okay.
PMI, how you cancel it, 20%, all that stuff. I've done it. What's next?
Two things. One has nothing to do with social media. And so I want, and of course this can help anybody, but this is probably for next level people that are comfortable. I want you to look at your processes. Because here's the traditional process in mortgage. Phone calls, emails, text messages. Each stage, you're going to get one, right? Well, here's what most LOs have never thought about. Jimmy, if you're my loan officer, you and I have been buddies for forever. You call me, you're on the way home from the office, I'm on the way home from the office, and you give me a 15-minute update about where we're at in the process. Here's what we're waiting on. Here's what's already cleared through underwriting. And then I get home and I say, hey, honey, Jimmy called. My wife says, what'd he say? Bro, I say, he said we're good. And
God damn it, you're right. Oh
and
my
my
God,
wife
so funny.
looks at me and goes, "What what do you mean we're good?
Bro, that's really funny.
Like what did he say? Honey, I don't know. I was on I was driving. I got and so there's layers to this, right? On
Yeah.
the surface for a little lighthearted humor, guys, y'all are starting World War III's in families all across this
Yeah,
country.
big
And
time. I can
you're
see it.
actually patting yourself on the back because you made a phone call.
That's really, dude, that's hilarious.
But on
You're right.
but on a serious note, Jimmy, guys, you're entrusting an expert in yourself to be clearly communicated through a novice, someone that doesn't know jack crap about what's happening. And
And they
so
have listened too.
100%. And so, bro, you've never heard me teach this because I've added
I
this since
this
we've
is good. I love it.
bro.
This is awesome. I'm glad we went here.
So think about the layers to this. One, you're missing out on half of your referral sources because of the way you communicate through the process.
Ooh, man,
Because my wife will take a closing
powerful.
photo with you. She will probably hug you at closing, right? Like she's happy, but she'll never refer you business because she never knew you.
Ooh, that's so powerful,
And
man.
who typically has the network? To me, it's the wife. Like they're out at the school things. That like they're out there around all the people. I'm around like 4 people a week.
Bro, that's wow.
Okay, so
I've never thought of it that way. That's fascinating, man.
now
Thank
that
you.
that level of understanding is here, what is the fix? You call me on your way home from the office. We have our call, right? We're homies. We want to talk.
Yeah.
So we shoot the crap. You update me on the house, and then as soon as we finish, you grab your phone and you go, "Hey, Lana, let's be honest. Kyle's not going to tell you anything that I just told him about the house, and so here's a quick update." And then you send it in a group text to the three of us. And now my wife goes, "I freaking love that guy."
Yes.
It costs nothing. And you will double, if not more, your referral opportunities because now you've invited the other spouse to be an engaged part of the process.
And look, not to be sexist or anything, but women are way more networkers than men. It's just how it is, especially moms and especially moms
Sure.
groups. If you get a mom on your side,
But
you're
also forget sex, right?
yeah.
If there's two people that are the borrowers and you only pay the most attention to the one that's in charge of the transaction, you're missing opportunity
Gosh, that's such a
because
good
of
way
your
to
lack
think
of
of it.
communication.
Such a good way to think of it, Kyle. Wow.
So now let's truly take it to the expert level.
Okay, thank you.
Let's say that you have 12 steps in your process for a typical buyer. How many of those stages can we take from an email and now make it a video? How many of those stages that instead of just a text message with words, it's a text message with a video link? And so we've got some evergreen videos because there's several stages that would always be the same. And so I record that video one time and I could send it 1,000. But then Jimmy, there's also going to be a couple stages like when they're cleared to close. Can you imagine you jump on video and you go, "Drapers, Harrison, Everly, Baby Ruby, y'all are cleared to close. In 10 days, y'all get to move into your new house. You get to pick your bedrooms. It's going to be incredible. I am so excited for y'all." And then you text me and Lana that video. Bro, I'm going to send that video to my parents, to my brother. I might post it on social going, "Look at my guy. Look how cool my lender is." And it took you 20 seconds. Bro, that's next level. That's the experience that keeps people coming back. And we on the surface go, "But that seems so stupid." Guys,
Mhm.
it is. But things that are stupid can also be true, which means we've got to remove our ego enough to be committed to the process. And if you were sending a traditional client 5 to 8 videos through the transaction, some of them are pre recorded, bro, you are so top of mind over and over again. And then when they have friends that come to their new house and they're having conversations that are house related, they already know your YouTube channel now because you've sent them there 4 different times to watch a video. And so now they're sitting in their living room going, "Oh, you know what? If y'all are thinking about buying a home too, let me send you my lender's YouTube channel." You didn't have to ask him to do it because you made it consistent in the process. It's a game changer.
Bro, bro, I get emotional, especially when you talk about, hey, the kids can go pick their rooms. That's just,
Isn't
oh,
that good?
I could cry, man.
Yeah.
Good, man.
Yeah.
I really
Yeah.
could, man. Because you know what? They're gonna play it for their kids too.
Yes.
And guess what? 30 years from now, they're gonna buy a house from no one but you. No one but you. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, it's a generational type of an impact that you make on
That's it,
people
man.
with a 20-second video.
Dude, I just got a new client. So I have a virtual assistant company is one of my businesses. And so I talk to people all the time that they think they know what they want until we start talking. And And this lady owns a med spa, and she thought she needed a VA to just dial numbers from leads that they got on the internet. And I said, Natalie, do you like getting phone calls? She was like, no. I said, me either. Is that really what you want to pay me money for? Is to have someone do something on your behalf that we already know the recipient will not like? I said, why would you not record a couple different videos and let the VA send out videos on your behalf? And just like you, bro, she was like, oh my gosh, I've never thought about it before. But yes, that would be incredible. I love getting videos from people. This doesn't cost you anything. Now, you could have someone else do it for the scalability piece. But you and I were talking on our pre call about at the end of the day, none of this matters if you're not following up. That's why most people's CRMs go under leveraged. That's why most people's social goes under leveraged, because we start doing the right first activity. But then at the end of the day, it's not your job to say yes to me. It's my job to ask you if you're ready. And so if you were sending out 3 videos every morning, checking in on past clients, what's up, bro? Did you know today is the 3-year anniversary of you buying your house? Can you believe that? Is that unbelievable? I just wanted you to know I still think about helping y'all get into that thing. And I love seeing y'all's pictures of your family inside of it. What an easy video that could bring you 3 referrals.
All right, so I want to encourage everybody that's a part of this. We got about 20 plus people. I really want you to ask a question of Kyle. Anything, everything's on the table. And then we'll read it out loud. It looks like
Ron, we
but
we are in the works. So the green book right here, the mortgage book is done. We are 10 days away from the audio version of the green book being ready. The purple book is in the works, and so audio books are coming for all the books. Thank you for your patience, and thank you for reminding me.
also I put Ellie, she's the girl that I told you that literally she had zero social presence, literally zero social presence. Went to a Kyle Draper event and completely changed her business. She literally wins awards in Milwaukee for being a social media queen. I forget what the title is. It's some reward, whatever. They're kind of fake. Who cares? Who cares about a social media, crown? However, going to from zero to being recognized on a city level, especially one that's big as Milwaukee, kind of a big deal. And it was at a Kyle Draper event. And anyway, just follow her. She's I would just say it like this: copy her. She's authentic, she's real. She tells you what's going on with her family, what's going on in life. It's not all about real estate. It's her fitness, it's her family. It's, we chopped down this tree, we did that. It's just real. And
Yeah.
anyway, if you want somebody to copy, that's a good one to do it. Uh, Kyle, we have about 10 minutes left. Is there anything that you haven't covered that you think that's
Yes.
important for our audience?
Yeah, dude. This isn't a silver bullet, right? We I love comparing social media to weight loss because everyone understands weight loss, the fit person and the fat person. Everybody gets it. If I came to you, Jimmy, and I said, "Bro, I'm struggling," and you go, "Dang, dude, what's going on? Tell me about it." Well, I'm trying to lose weight, and I've been going to the gym, right? I'm always going to make it sound like it's more than it is, and it's just not working. And then if you're a good friend, you're going to follow up and go, "Well, tell me about it. Like, how often do you go?" Man, I've probably gone like 2 or 3 times. And you're going to say this week and be like, no, this year. Oh, I know your problem. You aren't showing up enough. It works. You just have to actually show up. And it's hilarious to me. Well, actually, it's not hilarious. It's sad how many people now walk this earth assuming that social media doesn't work for them, video doesn't work for them, and their story is they did 4 videos, they didn't go viral, and they didn't make money, and so they quit. And that's not how good things in our lives work. I have a healthy marriage. I get to go to bed every night and wake up with the woman of my dreams. We work. It's hard. It's
Yeah.
not La La Land.
Yeah.
It's not a fairy tale. It is
La La
hard,
Land.
but it's worth it. Your health, right? I'm losing weight. It's worth it, but it's
Yeah.
hard.
So
And
hard.
so my ask of you guys is for those of you that are willing to try anything I've said, beginner level birthday videos, expert level video in your processes, right? Give it at least a 90-day go before you cast any judgment. Because if it's any sooner than that, you will not have enough data to really know what works, what doesn't, and you'll live the rest of your life believing a lie that this just wasn't for me. When, in my opinion, in 2025, it's still your greatest opportunity to win in this industry because most of our industry still does it really bad.
I'll go a little deeper.
Come
Um, do it for you. Do it for you. You know what? I told people I'm going to make 100 podcast episodes and I'm going to interview the most famous people in the mortgage industry, and I was laughed at. And
Yeah,
if I'm honest, I half believed it myself. I half believed it myself.
half is
But,
enough.
but you know what? I took the first step. I did it. I started. And you know what? I'm going to be brutally honest with all of you guys on this. I smoked a bunch of weed and I drank a bunch of alcohol to record my very first podcast episode. And
Oh my gosh.
however, I did it. I needed to. Honestly, like I just couldn't do it.
I
I
love it. I do
I was
not.
terrified. I was terrified. I
Just
was
so
literally
it's
terrified.
it's
I had so
clear.
much fear. And I'm not telling you to go smoke some weed. I'm not go telling you to drink a bunch of alcohol. I'm simply saying that at a certain point, you have to get it done. At a certain point,
Sure.
you
Yep.
have to man up. At a certain point, you have to woman up. You have to be an adult. Things need to happen. Things need to get done. And when it comes to social media, it will not work unless you go all in. You have to go all in. And I post it every day on all social media accounts.
Yeah,
You know,
you
I did
crushed
it.
it. Yep.
And I did. And I have a lot of success and I have a lot of things I could point back to. And I guess here's my point though. I shouldn't have said that.
Hey, bro.
Whatever. You guys can tell that I'm authentic and real and I just don't hold
Real
back.
is real.
But my biggest point is this, is that you only get one life. And if you are bound for greatness, you really have to give it your all. And you have to not have fear about it. And if you're bound to do 100+ loans a year, and here's what it's going to take to send a cheesy happy birthday video to everybody, if all it's going to take is to send a clear to close video and you look stupid doing it, bro, I think you got to do it. I think
Yeah.
you really just got to take that chance. And my video's frozen, but
But your audio sounds great.
thanks, bro. It's my deep radio voice.
Dude, it's so
We
good.
got it here.
Makes me
Kyle,
so
let's
jealous.
send us off. We have about 8 minutes left.
Yeah.
Do we have any questions? Let's see. Got to have those nerves somehow. Yeah. Okay. All right. Everybody's going to talk to me about weed and alcohol. Okay, that's good.
Somebody
Yeah,
wants to know
yeah, yeah,
what
yeah,
your gummy of choice was. Is that
yeah.
a question on here?
That's my fault. That's my fault. But look, it was in Florida. It's legal there. Okay. All right. So
Here,
I'm not illegal. Go ahead.
can I close it up this way?
I want you to, please.
Because I know we tried to cover the gambit amongst people that are doing this well already versus people that are still struggling. I I want to create a legacy perspective for a sec. So I have 3 kids. You have 2 kids. your parents are very involved and awesome grandparents, as are my parents and my wife's mom. And one of their favorite things to do is what? FaceTime the kids. They love to FaceTime the kids.
Yeah.
And so I asked a room of Lowe's one time, for those of you that have grandkids, do you wish that FaceTime would go away? Is it annoying? Is it a burden to you? Oh my gosh, no. It would be awful if all we had was a phone to talk to our grandkids. That same concept is what makes showing up in front of the camera powerful for us every single day. And here's what I love, Jimmy, about what you did with your 100 episodes and what I've done for 10 plus years, 5,000 plus videos later. 100 years from now, no one will ever wonder what Uncle Kyle was like. Nobody will ever wonder what Uncle Jimmy was like. You will be making a profound impact in the Ryan legacy beyond the grave, because people will be able to go watch any of those 100 episodes and go, man, Grandpa Jimmy was a freaking baller. I was struggling, and Grandpa Jimmy interviewed somebody, and they said something that made an impact in my life, and we are not even walking this earth anymore. And that freaking fires me up.
Wow.
And so that's the bonus to this, is it's legacy building. We'll never be forgotten.
Wow.
Which
I could
also
cry,
means
bro.
your comment about having to drink some beers and smoke some weed to do your first episode. Your grandkids are going to see that, but that's okay
It is.
because they want to know their grandpa. And so,
You know
man,
what?
the legacy piece to me is huge beyond everything else we've talked about.
I think that we've like quadruply downed on being authentic and real. I think that it's the only way you make connection. There's a lot of people on this call that smoke weed and drink alcohol. Okay, let's be honest. But it doesn't matter. My point is this: is that if you come across as your realest, truest self, that's the only way that you're going to make a real connection, and that's the only way that you're really going to move somebody towards you or away from you. And if it's away from you, good. Good. End it. If it's towards you, great. And I'll say this too, dude, I'm my podcast's biggest fan. I've listened to all my episodes several times, including the one with you. Bro, you have an amazing story. You have an amazing story. And I got to interview your whole life story. And for me, it's legacy to me, but it's also I've given legacy to you.
100%.
You know what I mean? Like it's cool. So all right, so go
I'll
ahead.
have something cool coming up in my backyard in October.
It is. And talk about the venue. You've been there? Of course.
Tell me where it's at.
You've never been to the gosh, what's the venue, Sonia? I forget what it's called. The big
Hyatt Regency, the Reunion Tower.
Reunion Tower.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You've been
man.
there.
Oh yeah.
You've been there. You ever eaten dinner at the top of that?
Man, I have not. I'm not cool enough or fancy enough to
Dude, you haven't
gotten that invite.
Dude, I live in Wisconsin. I've eaten at the top of the.
And you're cooler than
Regency
me,
Tower.
so that's not
guess
surprising at all.
Actually, I went to an Amplify there, and it was at that venue. And I just want to say to everybody that I'm sure a lot of the people that are on this call are planning on attending, but in case you're not, venue is amazing. I would say it's better than Vegas in a lot of ways. One, because everybody's going to be in the same building, so. Yeah. The networking opportunities are going to be huge. You can create a lot more deeper connections. And I'm looking forward to it. I think this is going to be I already know. I know this is going to be the best momentum builder, sales mastery ever. Todd Duncan's all in on it. Don and Gino, all in on it. They are, I'm part of the leadership talks. There is so much happening. And this is going to be a life-changing event. So I want to encourage you, if you have not yet purchased your ticket, please do. I believe there's a discount. Tell me if I'm false, Sonia.
Right there on the bottom of the slide.
Yep, it's right there.
Okay, there's a $100 discount. Look, this is going to sell out. It will sell out, And it's not going to be something where, you know, I mean, there's a limit to the space at the venue. But I know that the people that are going to come are, number one, going to change their lives. And I know that there's going to be connections that are going to be made that will also change your life. And I want to close out with this. So every night before my daughter goes to bed, I've done this since she's been a baby. She demands two things. One, I pray for her. And then two, that I sing her a song. I've done very simple songs. I've done all sorts of things. But lately, what I've been doing is I've been, and friends of mine know this because I literally send them lyrics to Disney songs. I've been singing one of four things, actually. There's Elsa. Oh my God, now I'm totally blanking.
Let It Go?
Let It Go. So I'll sing, and I know every word to Let It Go. And I literally do it. There is Pocahontas. Gosh darn it! Wow, I'm blanking. I must be stage fright now.
I know the song, but I can't.
Okay, Pocahontas. What's the one? Gosh darn it! It's literally on my phone right now playing.
Colors of the Wind.
Colors of the Wind.
Come on.
Colors of the Wind. And then Ariel, Part of Your World, from Little Mermaid. Yep. And then the last thing, and this is her favorite song, is A Whole New World. So what I want to ask everybody here to do is to create a whole new world. Get on social. Be consistent. Do it. I'll quote the whole thing if you want me to. I can open your eyes. Shining, shimmering, splendid. It can literally be shining, shimmering, splendid. But you got to put in the work, and you got to do it. And we'll send it off. We'll send it off with that. Thanks, Sonia.
Bye, guys.
Take you wonder by wonder, over, sideways, and under, on a magic carpet ride, a whole new world.